Welcome back to Spore and Sprout. In this video, I'm going to show you how to grow mushrooms using the dub tub method. This method works for many different species, you just may have to change the substrate depending on which variety. For this example, I'll be using the Piapino mushroom. The first step is to inoculate sterilized rye grain with liquid culture or a spore syringe. I will leave a link in the description to a video of how to make your own sterilized rye grain. I use isopropyl alcohol to wipe down the injection port and my work area. To reduce the risk of contamination, I recommend working inside of a still air box or in front of a laminar flow hood. Although because of the self-healing injection port, you could get away with inoculating the jar in a room with no air movement. Once the grain spawn has been inoculated with 2 to 5 milliliters of the syringe, it is allowed to grow at 78 degrees Fahrenheit until white patches of mycelium start to form at the injection site. The grain spawn is then shaken up to redistribute the contact points for a quicker colonization. Once the grain spawn is fully colonized, the next step will be to create your own pasteurized substrate made up of coconut husk and vermiculite. To a 5-gallon bucket, add 1 brick of coconut fiber, 2 quarts of coarse grade vermiculite, and 4 quarts of boiling water. Attach the lid to the 5-gallon bucket and then let it sit for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, the pasteurized substrate is mixed with a clean spoon. The lid is placed back onto the 5-gallon bucket until it has cooled down completely. Once the substrate has cooled down, the next step is to mix the grain spawn and substrate into a 6-quart bin with a black plastic bag as a liner. The black plastic bag helps to prevent mushrooms from growing on the sides and bottom of the substrate. After you wipe down the tools with isopropyl alcohol, add 3 quarts of the substrate to your 6-quart bin. Now just break up the quart of grain spawn and add it to the substrate. After mixing the substrate and grain spawn, don't forget to add a top layer of substrate to protect everything. Attach the lid and allow it to colonize at 78 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 days. After about 10 days, the surface should be completely covered with mycelium. At this point, it is introduced to fruiting conditions. I just use the lid to fan the substrate and a spray bottle to mist the sides of a second 6-quart bin that will be used as a humidity dome. You will have to fan and mist the substrate 3 times per day minimum. After 1 week of fruiting under an LED light strip, you should start to see primordial growth. After harvesting the mushrooms, you can dunk the substrate in water for 4 hours to get a second flush. And that's how you grow mushrooms using the dub tub method. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos just like this one.